Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive into AI. Today, we're looking at AI agents and how they're changing the way we work, communicate, and even make music. We've got some articles covering the latest from OpenAI, Microsoft, and DeepL, plus a really interesting legal case brewing in Germany about AI and song lyrics. Buckle up, because things are moving fast.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast everything is changing. I mean, AI is moving out of the labs into real-world stuff, like faster than ever before. It's a lot of potential, but also some big questions.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in. Let's start with OpenAI's Operator, which is slated to launch in January 2025. What's really caught my eye is that this AI agent is designed to work directly with your computer. So it's not just another voice assistant or anything. It's like having a digital employee that can handle tasks, browse the web, and even like personalize your
Yeah,
settings.
and that level of integration, it's new. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't really seen this before.
Right.
Think about how much time you spend searching for information or filling out forms or managing your calendar. Operator could, like, automate all of that and free up your time.
Right.
So you can focus on more creative or strategic stuff.
It's like the dream.
Yeah.
But OpenAI isn't alone in this. We've got Anthropic's computer use and rumors of a Google AI agent too.
Oh, wow.
So what do you think? Are we on the verge of like an AI agent revolution?
I mean, it definitely seems that way. I think the key is going to be how well these agents understand and respond to, like, more complex commands.
Yeah.
They can't just be like fancy search engines.
Right.
They need to be able to learn your preferences,
Yeah.
adapt to, like, how you work, and maybe even anticipate your needs.
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting, especially for businesses. Like Microsoft, for example, is taking a different approach. They're developing AI models that are tailored to specific industries. So they're partnering with companies like Bayer in agriculture, Cerence in automotive, and Siemens in software. So what do you think is driving this focus on industry-specific AI?
I think it's about solving real-world problems, but in a more targeted and effective way.
Right.
So, like, a general AI might be able to write text or create images,
Right.
but an AI that's trained specifically on agricultural data, they can analyze crop yields or predict disease outbreaks, and then help farmers make decisions that are more sustainable.
So it's going beyond just the coolness factor of AI
Yeah.
and actually delivering like real value to businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you give us some more concrete examples of how these industry-specific models are being used?
Sure. So, for example, you've got Bayer's AI model. It's helping farmers use crop protection products in a more efficient and sustainable way, which is, crucial for the environment and their bottom line.
Right.
And then there's Cerence's model, which is powering those in-car voice assistants that you see. They work really well even offline. And these assistants can understand complex commands, control different things in the vehicle, and give drivers real-time information.
That's amazing. And what I find really interesting is that Microsoft is making these models accessible through Azure AI Studio and their AI model catalog. So that means that even smaller companies that don't have huge tech teams, they can still use this powerful tech.
Exactly. It's like democratizing access to AI and opening up new possibilities for companies of all sizes to innovate.
That's a huge shift. But AI's impact goes beyond just, automating tasks or efficiency.
Yeah.
Deep, which is known for its super high-quality text translations, is moving into the voice translation space with DeepL Voice.
Oh, wow.
They've got voice for meetings for real-time captions and voice for conversations for, like, on-device translation.
Interesting.
This could be huge for breaking down language barriers.
Yes, definitely. Imagine what this means for international business travel education or even just talking to people from different countries. It has the potential to connect people like never before.
That's so exciting. And they're tackling, like, all the common voice translation problems, like, incomplete input accents and those latency issues. And there are companies like Brioche Pasquier that are already using DeepL Voice to help their international teams communicate better. Did they mention how they actually address those technical challenges?
Yeah, they've built these advanced algorithms that can analyze how people speak and then interpret the context and deliver translations that are accurate and fast.
Wow.
They're constantly making their models better by training them on huge amounts of data, which helps them adapt to different accents and speaking styles.
It's just mind-blowing what they've done. They're bridging the gap between human languages and real time, which has always been a dream for a lot of people. But what's interesting is that as AI is moving more into creative areas like music, it's creating some legal controversy.
That's right. GEMA, which is a performance rights organization in Germany,
Yeah.
is suing OpenAI for using copyrighted song lyrics to train their AI models. It's the first lawsuit of its kind from a PRO,
Yeah.
and it's specifically about lyrics, not recordings. It really highlights this tension between AI innovation and protecting the rights of artists.
Yeah, this case is raising some serious questions about copyright in the age of AI. Can AI companies just use any creative work they want to train their models? Should artists get paid for that? And if so, how do we figure out what's fair?
Yeah, it's complex. The legal stuff is tricky,
Yeah.
especially in Europe, where GEMA has an opt-out clause for their works, which basically means AI companies can't just assume they can use those lyrics without permission.
Gotcha.
It'll be interesting to see how the courts handle this.
Yeah, it's uncharted territory for sure. But it's a conversation we need to have. Like, as AI gets better at making music, writing stories, even painting, how do we make sure that the original artists are being paid and recognized for their work?
Exactly. That's the core issue.
Mm.
We need to find a balance between encouraging innovation and protecting the rights of creators.
Right.
And this case could set a precedent for how we handle this in the future,
Right.
not just for music, but for all kinds of creative stuff.
Earlier, we talked about how AI agents like OpenAI's operator could change our digital lives. Automating tasks, personalizing experiences, making everything online more efficient. It sounds great, but it also raises concerns about privacy, security, and control.
Right. If we're giving more and more of our digital lives to these AI agents, we need to be sure that they're actually working for us, that our data is safe,
Exactly.
and that we're ultimately in control of our information and our online identities.
It's like having someone come into your house. You want to trust them. You want them to respect your space. And you want to be able to ask them to leave if you need to. It's the same with AI agents. We need rules and safeguards in place to make sure they remain tools that we control, not something that controls us.
It's a really important point. And it's not just about individual control. It's about societal control. We need to have these conversations as a society
Yeah.
about what role we want AI to play in our lives,
Yeah.
what values we want to embed in it, and what limits we need to set to make sure it's safe and beneficial.
That brings us back to the GEMA lawsuit against OpenAI. It's not just about copyright. It's about who controls the creative process. If AI can create music, write stories, and paint pictures that look and sound just like human-created work, what does that mean for the future of art and human creativity?
It's a question that really challenges our traditional understanding of authorship originality and what it means to express yourself artistically.
Right.
Some people say that AI is just a tool, like a paintbrush or a musical instrument, and that the real creativity still comes from the human artists using the tool.
Mm-hmm.
But others see AI as a potential collaborator, something that can push the boundaries of what humans can imagine.
And then there are those who worry that AI could eventually be more creative than humans, leading to a world where art is all the same and lacks that human emotion and expression.
Yeah, it's a whole spectrum of possibilities, and it's way too early to say which one is most likely. The important thing is that we're having these conversations,
Yeah.
that we're thinking about what AI means for art and creativity, and that we find ways to support human artists and encourage human creativity as this technology keeps evolving.
It's clear that AI is changing the world in some really big ways. It's automating tasks, connecting people across languages, pushing the boundaries of art, and it's making us question what it means to be human in a world that's so connected to machines.
And it's all happening so quickly. It's a time of huge change and uncertainty, but also a time with so much potential. The decisions we make today will shape what kind of future we create with AI. Will it be a future where AI helps us amplify our creativity and helps us solve our biggest problems? Or will it be one where it makes inequality worse, erodes privacy, and takes away our sense of control and purpose?
Those are some really big questions, and I think the answers aren't about predicting the future, but about making it. It's recognizing how powerful AI is, acknowledging the risks,
Right.
and actually working to steer it in the right direction, in a direction that aligns with what we believe in.
I agree completely. It's not about just letting technology take over. It's about taking charge of this tool and making sure it serves us,
Exactly.
not the other way around.
And that means involving everyone, policymakers, researchers, industry leaders, artists, and regular people like us. We all have a part to play in shaping AI's future.
Definitely. It takes honest conversations, being willing to grapple with tough ethical questions, and a commitment to finding solutions that work for everyone.
Not just a select few. Right.
And part of that is making sure AI is developed and used fairly. We've seen how algorithms can be biased, leading to unfair results in things like hiring loans and even the justice system.
It's a big problem. And it shows why we need transparency and accountability in AI development. We need to know how these algorithms work, what data they're trained on, and what's being done to reduce bias.
We need to approach AI with a sense of wonder and responsibility, recognizing how it can change things, but also being aware of the potential dangers.
Well said. And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you some things to think about. We've looked at the amazing progress in AI, from agents that can manage our digital lives to models that are transforming industries and tools that are breaking down language barriers. We've also talked about the ethical and social implications of AI, the importance of developing it responsibly, and the need for ongoing conversation and engagement.
As AI keeps advancing at this incredible speed, it's so important to stay informed, to ask the right questions, and to demand that this powerful technology is used to create a world that is fair, equitable, and sustainable for everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with one last question to ponder. We've seen how AI can automate tasks, translate languages, create art, and solve really complex problems. What other human activities might AI change in the near future? And what steps can we take both individually and together to make sure that this change is good for all of humanity?